What's happening? Ecclesiastes 4:9 through 12. Two are better than one, because they have a good return for their work. If one falls down, his friend can help him up. But pity the man who falls and has no one to help him up. Also, if two lie down together, they will keep warm. But how can one keep warm alone? Though one may be overpowered, two can defend themselves. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. Stand by, guys. Well, howdy, y'all. Welcome back to Be the Ant Preparedness. Those of you new to my channel, this one's kind of for you guys. A few months ago, I did a couple videos talking about finding yourself a group of like-minded people, and I talk about it at different times on videos because I feel that it's important. And I came across that in the old good book the other day, and I'm like, you know what, it's been a while since I had a video just about that. I'll do another one here. So anyway, yeah, just like it says, two people can do the same work better than one, quicker than one, right? I mean, I'm paraphrasing, of course. I don't know if I'd snuggle up with any buddies of mine, but I guess if it gets cold enough. But also about the defense. I mean, it even had that in there, in the Bible, talking about defending yourselves, and two people can more easily defend themselves than one, right? And that in a nutshell is why I'm such a proponent of the groups. I know there are those of you out there that are doing the lone wolf thing. In fact, one subscriber, he comments pretty regularly, and I take my hats off to the guy. You know, you do you, to each their own. I got no issues with that. But in my mind, it goes back to that, many hands make light work, man. And if you've got a group of like-minded individuals, it's going to make it a little bit easier on you. It's like I talk to people and they ask me, it's like, well, why are you in a group? You've got your family and everything, talking about my extended family. And yeah, that's true. I do have my extended family. But at the same time, my extended family, they're not what you would call preparedness minded. Okay, they've got a healthy pantry, and you know that there's a plan. If something happens, this is what we'll do. But beyond that, they're not as into it. Okay, they're not studying up on how to do this and how to do that and everything. Now a lot of them have just that knowledge, like my parents, for instance. They know things just because of the way they grew up and what they did when they were younger, you know, at my grandparents. Canning and gardening and raising chickens and everything else. They have that knowledge, it's already there. But when it comes to, talking about defense, I would much rather having a healthy military-age male watching my back than one of my kids or one of my parents, of that nature. Not that they're not capable, but I think you guys know what I'm talking about. In fact, I was just talking to a guy. We had our meeting this past weekend with our group, and he's a probationary member. And he was talking about how he and I believe his brother-in-law, something like that, they were talking about going in together and getting someplace, and I said, well, that's great, but his brother-in-law, whatever it was, if I'm recalling right, if you're watching this, forgive me if I'm misquoting. He's kind of into it, but not all in like a lot of guys. So he's going to be more handy in certain circumstances, but is he going to know how to make soap, raise a garden, tend to medical needs, stuff like that, knows wild medicinals, wild edibles? Can't say for sure. Whereas like with our group, we have somebody that is over the medical, over security, over, for lack of a better term, engineering. The guy fix anything, house, cars, whatever it is you need, and the knowledge coming from those guys. It's like we've got guys that have military experience. We have guys that have actually lived off-grid before. And you bring all those guys together, like-minded people, just their experiences and their lives. You don't know what everybody knows. I mean, they don't even know what they know, right? So yeah, I really recommend it, guys. Use caution, of course. With the guys in my group, everybody's got everybody's email, but even when it gets to phone numbers, that's between the group members themselves. So we watch our OPSEC, because at the end of the day, we don't really know each other that great, right? And preppers are cautious by nature anyway. But anyway, yeah, use caution when you're doing it, and, you know, watch who you're talking to and stuff. And typically you can get a feel for those like-minded individuals out there. I've been told, I'm not a Facebook guy, I've been told Facebook, there are many different prepper pages, sites, whatever they're called. Be careful with those, though. I've talked about this time and time again. 90%, and I don't think that's a overestimation, 90% of the people that consider themselves preparedness minded are, yeah, those armchair preppers, the hobby preppers. When it comes to it, they're not all in on it. And by all in, I don't mean, like, if you watch the channel, by all in, I don't mean that you're spending every dime you got on preps and you got a bunker and everything else. I'm not talking about that. By all in, I mean those guys that regularly make sure that they're stocking up and they take the time to learn different skills and everything like that. But yeah, try to reach out to people around you there. Try to find some groups. There are different forums out there for that. If you are looking for a group and you're in Ohio, drop us an email. We've got, we keep the email down in the description of all the videos. And I'm in contact with different groups here in Ohio, so we're not the only one. But yeah, guys, I would say search those guys out. Doing it on your own, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not going to say that, okay? But what I'm saying is, you got to find time to sleep at some time. That didn't make sense. You have to, you know what I'm talking about. You have to sleep sometime. There you go. You can't constantly be on guard. And if you're constantly on guard, that means you can't do the other things that need to be done. You know, this breaking or tending the garden or whatever else. So yeah, what I'm saying is, if you have those people, and I don't even care if you're talking about the old grandma and grandpa, okay? there are going to be so many jobs. There's going to be so many things that need to be done. Yeah, go ahead and if the elderly folks, you can learn a lot from our older generation. Those seniors in your life, dude, they know stuff. You've never asked, or it's never come up. I can guarantee it. They grew up in a different time, and depending on their age, they probably had parents or grandparents that went through the Great Depression, and people had to learn a lot of stuff in the Great Depression. I mean, that goes without saying. But yeah, you need all kinds. It doesn't have to be 10 ex-military snipers from the age of 25 to 30. No, that's not going to do any good. You need those people to do the different things. Like for us, guys in our group, we have children. Okay, somebody's got to watch the kids. Okay, if you've got within the group, if somebody's got a teenage daughter, can do some babysitting, help out with other things, or teenage son, not going to be not. I'm going to watch my gender bias. Is that what that is, or is that something else? I don't know. I might have just sounded like an idiot. I don't know. But anyway, there's so many little things. You got to look after the kids. You got to grow the food. Security, that's the one thing that everybody, yeah, we got that. But there's so many little things. Maintenance on whatever it is. If you got house, vehicles, if they still work. If you've got fencing up, it's going to have to be constantly looked after. If you've got any type of power generation equipment, it's going to have to be monitored. If you've got power generation equipment and a battery bank, the battery bank's got to be monitored. It's got to be. There's so many little jobs that's going to require constant attention. Gardening alone, if none of you back up. For those of you that garden can attest to this. For those that have never gardened, it's not just put the seeds in the ground and walk away. It's just not. You have to keep the weeds out. You have to know the different plant species and how to tend to them, prune them, and stuff like that. Yeah, this year, my onions, I made the mistake of letting it go, and the weeds took over, and that was it. So pretty much I chalked that up to learning experience and hit it again next year. But yeah, the gardening alone, it's just a daily. You got to be out there checking. You can't really run to Lowe's and get pesticides and all that. I don't do that anyway, but if y'all do, so you got to be watching for the pests. And you talking about a post collapse or SHTF of something, you're going to be pulling those bugs off by hand, and it's going to take people to do that. But anyway, I'll get off here, but yeah, start searching. I really recommend it. If you find some people, okay, I guess I should go into this. Say you get on one of the online chat rooms, whatever, and you find some people. My recommendation, meet them at a public place. Do not give them your address and how many's in your house and the ages and all this other stuff. Find some place to meet, have a cup of coffee, whatever it is, someplace public. And that first meeting is just kind of a getting to know you, okay? Yeah, literally. Go ahead and block off a time. Say, hey, we're want to meet up. We can do it for about a half hour, 45 minutes. That way you've got kind of an out. If the guy ends up being a little too out there for you, you've got that out, and he doesn't have phone number, address to where if you choose that this person's not really what you're looking for, you can do a nice clean break, right? But yeah, after that initial meeting, Just like dating, right? Have somebody call you on the cell phone, there's an emergency. No, but after that initial meeting, if you both decide to move forward, then go ahead and set something else up, and just kind of keep kind of rolling with it. You're not gonna back up. I say back up a lot. I'm sorry. You are probably not going to find tons of people that believe everything exactly the way you believe it. Just like with life, right? We're all different. We all have our little things. If you are sitting there looking for somebody that believes exactly the way you do with every single little thing, and that's the only ones you're looking for, then it's you're probably going to be looking for a long time. Try to identify, prioritize the things that are important to you. People in my group need to have this in common or something. Whatever it is you decide, and move on from there. But yeah, be cautious about it. But get out there and start looking. Wherever you work, if there's other people that you think are kind of into it, broach that topic with them, and yeah, just kind of explain to them why it is you're looking to have a group. It doesn't have to be a group that you've got a designated bug out location and this is where everybody's going. Just guys that you can, like I say, talk to, get encouragement from, learn from. Like I said, we don't even know what everybody knows. It's crazy, the knowledge that a lot of people out there have on certain subjects. It really is. It's mind-blowing. But I'll get off here. As you guys can see, I got errands to run always, constantly, never ends. Got errands to run. So I'll get off here, and yeah, if you have any questions, I don't know, drop us a line, post them in the comments. I'm not here to tell you that I am a expert group prepper guy. No, I'm not going to say that. Got some ideas, okay? We found, like with our group, we're figuring out what's working, and there's a learning curve to it. So if I can help anybody out there, I will do my best. So thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it, and talk to you after a while.